Can y'all read what's on the top? Let me know in the comments. Answer the questions too. We're going to bring someone up here when we get to 2K likes. Keep tapping like. Peace to all the Garveyites. What up? Brother Draco. What's going on? Answer the questions down below. Do you believe black and white Christians worship the same Christianity? You know what I'm saying? It's interesting you say that, Hoodoo. It's almost like you was in our meeting on Sunday. That is wild that you even said that, Sister Hoodoo. That is wild that you even said that. Feminism created feminism helped create the environment that made white tea supremacy happen. Oh my goodness, when you go down that rabbit hole, there's a brother by the name of Tommy J. Curry. I encourage all brothers, especially, to check out Tommy J. Curry. Oh my goodness, he broke it down on Sunday. Basically, white tea women saw that the European men were fighting. They were fighting so much. They were unaliving each other so much that white tea women decided it would be best to convince them to come together under whiteness. And that is what created the grounds for patriarchy. He goes into depth explaining it a lot better than I just did. But it's documented. It's documented. It's crazy. It's wild. It's really wild. Like, I'll be honest. Feminism is the byproduct of patriarchy because it really is just white tea women seeking to be as powerful as their male counterparts. They want equal access to oppression. They want equal access to black oppression. Feminism, the idea that was, it was argued in the 19th century that, voting was a way to control the masses, right? To control the laws. And they thought it would be unethical for minorities to control the laws of women, specifically white tea women. So they would plead to their male counterparts for black people not to have the right to vote before they did, because it would be unethical in their eyes for minorities to control white tea women in their laws, specifically abortion. That was black people and minorities were more open to the idea of abortion even back in the 19th century. And, white tea folks saw that as a bad thing because, they had weak numbers. You feel me? So it's really interesting how feminism it was never what people think it is. It's really wild. And I would encourage people to check out Tommy J. Curry's work because I'm not as completely. I could talk about it from a Pan-African perspective, of course, but I'm not as knowledgeable as that brother. I still have more research to do on those origins, but My, oh my. Very alarming. Racial trauma does not equate to all white people are evil. Who said they all evil? Who said all white people are evil? What in the world is going on? See, y'all see a black man talking about race issues and y'all think y'all are the enemy. Y'all think y'all start feeling guilty. Y'all need to stop it. Who said all white people are evil? I know some good racists. I know some very fine racist people. Y'all need to stop it. Nobody said all white people were evil. Some of y'all are very fine racists. There's some good, fine racist folks out there. Ain't nobody say y'all was evil. Just gotta stay about the sunlight. That's all that is. Don't mean you're evil or nothing. Dracula. I mean, y'all might be the children of Dracula, but that don't mean that y'all evil. No. Yeah, there's some good, fine racist folks out there. You can't say everyone that's racist is evil. What up, Gino? Nah, yeah, Would you say Dracula was evil? You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all do have a tendency to worship the devil at your concerts and stuff, but I wouldn't say y'all was evil enough. I mean, y'all have unalived more people than any other people group on earth. And y'all do, everything the opposite of what Jesus said to do. But I wouldn't say y'all are evil. There's some very fine racist white people out there. It's okay. I would never say y'all are all evil. Racial trauma is not racism. I don't know what racial trauma. I don't know what you're talking about. What is racial trauma? Worship the devil makes you evil. They don't worship the real devil. All right, they do worship the real devil, but what I was talking about, their little concerts where they be biting the heads off bats and stuff like that. That's not the real devil. The real devil is not some red man in the ground with hooves on his feet. The real devil sits in the White House. The real devil sits in the White House. The real devil wears a crown in England. You know what I'm saying? The real devil wears a suit and a tie, goes to meetings, you know what I'm saying, where they control the price of your medicine. You know what I'm saying? That's the real devil. The devil that a lot of y'all think is real will be scared of the devil that I'm talking about. He'll run back, flee right up under the earth if he knew the devil we was talking about. All white people worship the devil. What are you saying? I have not said all white people anything this entire time. Why do you keep saying that? One lives in Silicon Valley and can't stay. I know that's right. I know that's right, Hoodoo. One of them got a bleach blonde, bad built butch body. One of them devils got a yo. It's too many B's. I'm gonna say the wrong B word. I'm gonna say the wrong B word. You know what I'm saying? Some of them was bad built. Yo, that part takes me out of here, man. Bad built, because Elon Musk is definitely bad built. Like, if you look up bad built, the definition is Elon Musk. Because that man, he really is shaped like his cars. It's crazy. His chest is like a transformer. I don't know, he got heart problems or what. He looked like when the Grinch heart grew too big in the movie, the Grinch heart grow all big and his chest get fat. Like, I don't know. How your chest fat, bro? That's wild, bro. But yeah, let's answer the question. Is feminism part of white soup? You know what I'm saying? Is it racist to prefer to date within your race? Is it racist to prefer to date within your own people group? Is that wrong? Let's talk about it. Polygon built. Yeah, built like a polygon. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. I don't know what's up with that man's chest, bro. It's like he got things living in there. Maybe he's just a robot and like he lives inside his chest like a little man or something. I don't know. What is it going to take for white people to leave black? I don't know what it's going to take. Honestly, it's going to take black people having the self-respect and the selfishness necessary for survival enough for us to take back our land by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X style. That's what it's going to take for them to leave us alone. Tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get the devil up out our homes, get the devil up out our mind, get the devil up out our land. Some of y'all need to get the devil up out your bed. That's what we up here talking about. Some of y'all don't want freedom. Some of y'all don't want freedom. If I told you you could have freedom or a snow bunny, a lot of y'all pick that bunny. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, brothers. Let's be honest, brothers. A lot of y'all, if I told you right now, you could run 10 miles and black people would be liberated. Or you could have a bunny in your bed. A lot of y'all would choose option B. Let's be real, brothers. Hey, yo, you know what gets me annoyed? You know what grinds my gears? Because I'm not even expecting this live to really go wild like that. But you know what really grinds my gears, y'all? When I see Bumble commercials on TikTok. Have y'all seen Bumble commercials on TikTok? And you will see a white T man with a sister. Have y'all seen that? Does that not get on your nerves? Do you all know black women are the least likely of all people, the least likely demographic to marry outside her race or date outside her race? Do you know that? Black women are the least likely of all black people, of all of the people groups, to marry or date outside of race. First off, shout out to the sisters, man. Black women, we don't deserve y'all. We don't. We really don't. But we thank you for your patience. These brothers, I be trying to get them together, man. I be trying the best I can, but we are breathing y'all's air. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to just put that out there. But don't it get on your nerves when you see a Bumble or dating app commercial, or you see a movie like Bridgerton, or I'm sorry, that's not a movie, that's a show, Bridgerton, or you watch Game of Thrones, or you watch what else they got? The Little Mermaid, and you see a sister with a marshmallow man. Ain't that interesting? Y'all don't think that's propaganda? Because black women are the least likely to be with a white T man, right? Like y'all are the least likely to marry or date outside your race. However, it seems like on TV, y'all are well represented in people that date outside their race. Do y'all not think that's weird? How something that is not so prevalent in society seems to dominate the media space? Does that not intrigue y'all a little bit? That's a little suspicious. Am I wrong? That's suspicious to me. Why do I keep seeing sisters on TV with white T men? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just weird to me. It's weird to me. We are already a marginalized group, right? We're already a minority in the United States. But somehow media has found a way to represent the most marginalized group, black women, and then the most marginalized the least, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another word. The smallest minority within that marginalized group, black women that date outside the race. Like, and that's on TV. Like, it's normal, like all over TV. Like, you see that every day type shit. Like, it confuses me because that don't really happen that much. So why is it on TV? Why is it in my commercials? Why is it in my McDonald's advertisements? Why is it in my movies for teaching my daughter, you want to be what is the Little Mermaid be singing? She want to be part of that world. That's what she be singing, right? She's like, wish I could be part of that world. What world she want to be with a white tea man? And why is it that the Little Mermaid can have oppression and love at the same time? It's wild to me. I don't know why they keep doing that. Now, I understand, even if, you know what I'm saying, it's propaganda when it's the brothers, right? When it's the brothers with the frosted females, it is still propaganda. But at least they would have the excuse of brothers do it more. It's still a minority of black men. Believe it or not, sisters. I know y'all see the milkmen all up and down your timelines. I know. I see them too. But it is still a minority of brothers. 85% of brothers choose a sister. Shout out to them brothers. 85%. Now that's double what the sisters got going on. But at least they would be able to say, okay, it's a good 15% of y'all. That's the reason we got 15% of the representation on TV is with a white tea woman. When it comes to black women, y'all are really making whole movies about black women with white tea men, and that's only 6% of black women. Like, 6% of black women, that's only 6% of black women, but that's like 50% of the black women you see on TV. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That 6%, bruh. That means 94% of black women is not looking at a marshmallow man. So why am I seeing it on my TV? Why am I seeing? To me, that's just something. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing it. It wears me out because it's literally them imposing the idea into your minds that you can have love and oppression from the same person. You can have oppression from white men and you can find love in them at the same time. That show, Game of Thrones got me tight. Game of Thrones got me tight. Some white blonde man with a fine sister. He was with a sister. She unalived herself by dragon fire. You know what I'm saying? But either way, that got me tight. I'm like, why they doing that? That's unlikely. That's highly unlikely. Unlikely. Don't make no sense. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Gino's wild, bro. Gino's wild, man. Y'all are funny, man. So anyway, man, don't fall for the propaganda. And these dating apps that use interracial relationships as some sort of feature, that use interracial relationships as some sort of marketing tool is weird, bruh. That's weird, bruh. Like, that's weird. Everywhere else we look, when we look up romantic comedies, when we look up movies about love, we see white woman, white man. But for some reason, when it's a dating app, you got to see interracial. You got to see a black woman with a white tea man, or a black man with a white tea woman, or some type of interracial mix. It's weird. It's weird. Why? It's like they trying to get you to do it, right? Y'all know we didn't ask for interracial relationships, right? Y'all know we didn't ask for that. Do y'all know we didn't ask for that? Can anyone name me a protest where during the civil rights movement we had to march for interracial relationships? When did that happen? Somebody tell me, when did that happen? Were we spit on and hosed down in the street because we wanted to marry Becky Ann? When did that happen? Right, you don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find this suspicious? It's suspicious to me. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all can raise y'all children in Babylon. I'm keeping the devil up out my home. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna keep the devil out my home. My child not gonna know what a white tea man look like. We're gonna walk around to the mall or something. My daughter gonna be like, "What's that? Oh my God! Why his nose so pointy, Dad? He ain't got no lips." I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, honey. My daughter ain't gonna know what y'all look like. I don't want her looking at y'all empathizing in movie shows, empathizing with the main character that looks like a black woman. That's the most evil part of that Little Mermaid movie is they use a black woman so that y'all can empathize with the black woman and what she got going on in the movie, right? That's why representation matters, right? Representation matters, right? Because they want y'all to look at the screen and say, she's a black girl like me too. And wow, just like her, I can have a white man too. Wish I could be part of that world. Like, come on, man, what are we doing? I'm not having my daughter looking at this crap. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if I come to your house and I give you an African mask, a antique, artifact of your ancestors, if I give you an African mask, you know damn well you would not want that in your house. You would say you bringing evil spirits in this house, and then you will turn around and turn on the Little Mermaid for your young children. Invite the devil right in your house. Some of y'all don't want the devil in your house, but then turn around and bring the devil right up in your house. Some of y'all got the devil teaching your children. Some of y'all got the devil teaching your children. They ain't even teaching them. They miseducating them. Miseducating them. Don't teach them nothing about themselves. I didn't care about history in high school. I didn't care about history in college. But when I started to look up African history, when I started to look up my roots, man, I couldn't get enough. And I couldn't figure out why. It's because when they was telling me history before, that wasn't my history. That was someone else's history. That was their version. They didn't have nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. The thing with the sisters on TV is just something wild. It's just wild. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got some overseers in the comments. Their ancestors brought us here from Africa, but when I say I'm African, they get triggered because they scared we gonna leave them and go back. I forgot. We're in a narcissistic relationship with our oppressor, y'all. They don't like us, they don't want us, but they don't want us to leave at the same time. They don't like us, they don't want us, but they don't want us to unify. They don't want us to unify because unifying would mean the destruction of their empire, and they're afraid of that. That's the problem with the white liberals. That's the problem with the liberals too, is they won't trade in what is wrong, what they have accrued based on the backs of our ancestors. They won't trade that in, that comfort, because they know that, it's okay for them to just pretend and act like they care. But when it's really time for them to dismantle their privilege, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's something I noticed, man. That's something Malcolm X talks about. You know what I'm saying? The wolf and the fox. Y'all know the difference? Y'all know the difference between a wolf and a fox? You know what I'm saying? These white tea liberals is just as dangerous. I don't see the difference between Joe Biden and Trump. They can lock both. Y'all can lock both their asses up. See if I care, because I know the next one that comes is gonna be just as bad. It's gonna be the same thing. That's the thing about this whole election thing. Like, everybody already know who they voting for. I don't know why they running campaigns. Everybody knew who they was voting for way before this. As soon as Joe Biden made it into office, everybody knew who they was going to vote for in 2024. Everybody already knew this. Like, I don't even know why they doing campaigns. Nobody needs to campaign. Like, if you don't know Biden, you don't know who he is by now, I don't know where you've been at. I don't even want to know who he is. A wolf is always going to be a wolf, but a fox will lure you to sleep, then pounce. Exactly. And that's what feminism is. That's what feminism is. The black women, the white tea woman was jealous of what y'all was doing with the Black Panther Party. Don't let the feminists twist the story around and tell y'all that the Black Panther Party was all about patriarchy. Don't ever forget, don't ever sleep on black women. Black women at the height of the Panther Party made up 2/3 of the party. Black women made up the leadership in the party as well. So don't get it twisted. They saw powerful sisters with their natural hair out, throwing their fist up and holding pew pews, and they thought that they wanted to be like that. Exactly. They don't like the womanism. They thought that they could co-opt y'all's movement and create a sisterhood based on lies. They was jealous of that, and it's documented. That's the thing. It's documented. It's even documented. That's the wild part. Is a lot of us just don't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us listen to people that talk out of their opinions and don't know the actual facts. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we created B1 Initiative in the first place, is because I got tired of trying to tell people the difference between fact and opinion. So I just made a Discord where y'all could see the facts your damn self. Read it for yourself. If you got questions, I'm here. Because most likely I done read it already, or someone else in the Discord did. But I'm telling y'all, the more and more I learn, the less and less I'm surprised by the Yankees and their Yankee ways. You know what I'm saying? Yankee with an H. If you want to come up, feel free to come on up. You can come up and talk about it. We can talk about it. Absolutely. A CIA agent that infiltrated. What's going on? Malika? Is it Malika?
Yes, Malika.
Peace. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm 23. I'm Mexican American. Pronouns. I'm she, her.
All right, talk to us.
So personally, I'm Muslim, so I should start by saying that. So I'm not a Christian. So I don't know if you want to debate this with me, but I personally
You
feel
said
like,
you was a Mexican American.
yeah,
Those are two nationalities. So, what is your race? Are you a white Mexican American?
white Latina. Yeah.
All right, cool. Talk to us.
So I don't feel like any person of color should be a Christian because they kind of had like genocides on each group of people of color. And also the Bible's corrupted. So
Corrupted in what sense?
like books of the Bible were taken out, the Bible is changed. It's not been protected essentially in the same way that the Quran has. Sorry, my baby daughter's running around being loud.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'm kind of coming from the sense of like the history of Christians and what Christians did to all these groups of people, including like the native people here.
Okay. That's
But
factual. There's a movie about that. Um, I forgot the name of the movie, but it was based on a true story about white missionaries that came to South America, and basically they didn't make it out alive. But um, at the end of the movie, they convinced the indigenous people that their God, like the indigenous people's God, had a son, and that son was Jesus. And that was how they were able to convince all of them to become Christian and still keep their culture intact. Um, that's what a lot of missionaries did. You know.
ooh, yeah, I've heard about that stuff. I know personally for like my ancestors that were here, um, like, my grandma has told me these stories and stuff, but they came in and like removed people from their land here and kind of like forced them into Christianity. And I'm not sure what happened in the black community because I can't speak for that, but the things that I've heard is kind of similar to that.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of like forced upon. And I don't know, I'm an advocate for Islam. I'm not trying to like give you Dean if you don't want it, but
What's the difference between Islam and Christianity in your mind?
basically Islam, instead of believing in like a trinity or attributing God to a human, it's just it's God as like a huge energy, idealistic basically. It's not like, oh, God has a son. We don't believe that. Because we believe God is too high to have human attributes. Having a son is a human attribute, right? We believe in Jesus. Jesus is my favorite prophet. Um, but
So, but I'm saying, in a geopolitical context, like you did with Christianity, what is the difference between how Islam was introduced and how Christianity was introduced? Like, why did you feel one was less problematic?
so Islam wasn't basically all the wars when it comes to Islam were fought fairly.
Mm.
So Islam wasn't forced upon anyone, and actually, most people rejected Islam because the message of Islam was sent to someone who was like a poor man in the society. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he meditated a lot and stuff like that, and he finally, after
When
years,
you say it wasn't forced upon anyone, do you mean your own? Well, you said you're white, so you mean in Europe?
well, I'm white, native, like South. We come from South America. So
Uh-huh.
it's like Guatemala, Mexico, stuff like that, up to Mexico and then up to Arizona. So the Diné tribe, the Navajo
Okay.
people. And then also like European, so Spain, Spanish, which I think is, I mean, you can be any color from Spain, but
Yeah,
um,
no, we know. So do you mean that people group that you just mentioned when you say it
yes.
wasn't forced upon anyone? You sure it wasn't forced upon anyone at all?
No, there's a lot of historical context around this, and that's why, I'm comfortable speaking on it because it wasn't introduced in the way Christianity was, and it wasn't used by white people
To
to
who?
enslave people.
Introduced to who?
It
I'm just
was
trying to make
introduced
sure you
to
clarify.
the regions like Palestine and the Middle East mostly because the Quran was revealed in Arabic. So it wasn't revealed in English, it wasn't revealed in Hebrew. It came after the Bible. So first the Torah.
But I'm saying, do you believe no people group was forced into Islam?
No, I don't think they forced anybody, and that's against the Quran if they did, so they weren't true Muslims. They
That's
weren't
no
following the
excuse. That's no
Quran.
excuse. That's like saying the transatlantic slave trade didn't force Christianity on anyone because if they did, they weren't true Christians because Jesus said not to treat people that way.
Well, yeah, obviously white people took some of the messages of Christianity, ran with it, and used it for abuse. I think anyone can use religion, organized religion for abuse,
When has
which
religion not been used to exploit people?
I think when it's used in its true essence, Islam is not used to exploit people. If you actually read the Quran, like all these
No, but see,
comments
that's what I'm
are
saying. Why
wrong.
do you see the true essence of Islam, but you say that Christianity was exploitative? Like, why do you say,
Have you read the whole
because
Bible?
I have. My father was a preacher. I
So
went to
you
Christian
read all
school.
the.
I went to Catholic college. Yeah, I know about the Bible. I took apologetics and worldviews classes enough. I've got Muslim brothers and sisters, and of course, family members. Aunts, uncles. So I know enough to know that Islam was definitely forced on some people. It wasn't forced on everybody. I can, but neither was Christianity. You know what I'm saying? But to say it was not forced on anyone means that you haven't read the uh, the works of Ahmed Baba and some of the scholars in the Muslim world, where um, how they would talk about black people as or Africans as the enslavable people, saying that they were heathens and because they were not civilized enough that they could be enslaved. Where basically the choice was if you were Muslim, then you couldn't be a slave because slavery is haram. But that would mean that if you didn't want to be a slave, you had to become a Muslim.
Actually, okay, that I mean, I hear you, and I do retract my statement because I think like I said, all organized religions can be used for abuse. So I'm sure the Islam was forced upon some
I would
groups of
say,
people
but my thing is, when have they not been used for abuse?
when they're done correctly.
When have they ever been done correctly?
I think in most places it's done correctly. If you're a true
Really?
practicing Muslim, if you're
So,
praying
so,
five times
so
a day,
where are they practicing Islam correctly?
Mecca.
And is this place a place full of justice? Is there justice there? Like, can I go there? Because I'm looking for a place on earth with justice. Is there justice there?
Well, that's, it's a tough thing to say because there's really not any justice on earth, is there?
I
I
would
mean, it's a
say
very
even the Muslim scholars that I've studied have even said that Islam has failed in its promise. No one, we haven't seen Islam practiced correctly. We've
well.
only seen it, we've only seen it exploited, and we've seen it misused. We haven't seen it actually usher in a wave of justice or peace or righteousness. We haven't seen Islam actually manifest. We've seen attempts.
That's because when you read the Quran, I don't know if you read the Quran before, but that is not the purpose of earth. The purpose of earth is not to have heaven on earth. The purpose of earth is not that. The death is when the justice comes. Your
Name a Muslim country that didn't participate in slavery or doesn't to this day.
Slavery in what sense?
Slavery.
Sexual slavery? Because that was a
No,
huge
no, all
thing.
slavery. Straight up in Saudi Arabia, they have an app like DoorDash where you can order a slave.
Well, slavery in like what context? Like a person coming over to help you around the house? Because that's a huge thing in the Middle East. Most people, most women have like women around the house that help them, like actual maids. And it's just because that's like their literal society there. It's like rich people here, how they have maids and nannies and stuff and watching their kids, rich people who don't want to watch their kids. It's the same thing, but it's more of a cultural norm around there. So, I mean, I guess you could call that slavery because it does model what slavery is. Personally, I mean, it shocked me because I have a lot of extended family, my husband's family, who was in Saudi, grew up there, and had literally had these people, like had people helping them raise their
They got
kids, living in
slaves.
their house. Yeah, they live in their house, but they're black. They're black, and they had people who were like Middle Eastern in their house. So it's not really a race thing over there, but it's like that's definitely a cultural thing. They have people living with them, like
It's a
helping them.
cult. Slavery is a cultural thing.
I mean, I don't. Is it though? Like, if a rich person asked me to live in their house and help take care of their kids, am I
How
gonna
did
say
that person
no?
get? How did that person get rich?
No, they're like Muslim people. Like we
Yeah,
don't
but
make
how
that
did they
out of
get
money.
rich? Because is the goal of Islam to get rich?
No, not at
All
all.
right. So how did they get rich?
It's not even a rich thing. You don't have to be rich to have people like to have a maid there. That's a normal thing.
A maid. So
I think that's what they call
like
it.
that's you. I know you don't even realize how wild you sound. You sound so wild
It's
that
not. I
that
mean, I don't
look at the
partake in it.
numbers
I'm
in the
telling you.
room. People literally came in here because we're talking about slavery, and you said you mean like having a maid?
Bro, because I'm telling you how it is over
Yo!
there, bro. I wish my sister was here, bro, because she knows better than
Yo!
I do.
That's like
That's
we're
real to
talking
them.
about grape, and you're like, you mean like you mean non-consensual lovemaking? Like what?
That's how it is
You
overseas, man. I
sound
wish I had someone who
wild.
lived overseas because I don't live overseas. I lived in America my whole life. Like
I don't need to live
I don't.
there. I
That's
don't
not
need.
my
I don't
culture.
need to live there to know that exploiting people's labor is wrong. I don't need to live there to know that most of the people that are maids in this instance are people whose resources have been exploited by the same people that became rich off of their resources. So there's no
It's
such
they're
thing as
Black
an
American
ethical.
people though.
There's
They're
no.
Black
There's
American
no.
people.
There's no such thing as an ethical millionaire or billionaire. There is no such thing. The only way to get rich is to exploit someone's labor. Because if you paid them what their labor was worth, you wouldn't be rich. If you paid them what they were worth, you wouldn't be rich. You'd just be breaking bread with them. So in order for you to get rich, you have to exploit someone's labor. That being the case, when you exploit the resources of Africa to create a Muslim empire, and then take those same people who no longer had the resources to obtain wealth on their own and invite them into your house to pay them back with resources that you stole from them. That is slavery. That is slavery. You're literally exploiting people for their labor, and I don't know how. I've seen this mental gymnastics happen so many times where people say that, um true Islam doesn't do slavery, but yet in all of these Islamic states, they call themselves Islamic states. Islam is the religion of these countries. In these countries, they got slavery, and they got black slavery. They have African slaves. They have people from Ethiopia and what's the other place? Where's the other place they get people from, y'all? Ethiopia and Sudan. And they got them up in their houses, and they even, y'all, you know how what we be going through here in America with police brutality. You know how what we got going on in police brutality, and whenever a police officer unalives a brother, they say it was justified. He was defending himself. They do that same thing in the Middle East with these quote unquote maids, these black maids and black laborers that are quote unquote not slaves, but they're just part of the culture. They get unalived by their Arab bosses, and then they don't face prosecution. They don't actually go to court because people say, "Oh no, they were criminals anyway." They the same thing we have going on with police here, they have in these other countries. And I think that's just wild to come up here and diminish slavery to maids working in the house and it's part of the culture. That's wild. Hey, shout out to Knotless, man. Big up to Sister Knotless, man. Yeah, that person, you know what I'm saying? But she said she was white. We should have knew what it was from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you know what I'm saying? I don't care if the devil got on a hijab, a yarmulke, or a lowercase t around their neck. It don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. The devil is the devil. I don't care if you got a lowercase t, a yarmulke, or a hijab on. You know what I'm saying? I don't care whether the pig eat pork. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they got pork on their fork or not. You know what I'm saying? Oink oink. We know what that is. Not really. Whites don't like blacks in their church. Okay. That's wild. Yeah, no, that was wild. Listen, y'all, we should have knew what that was from the beginning. She said she was white tea. She aligns her identity with the people that colonized her ancestors. So you know what I'm saying? That tell you something right there. That whole thing with Islam, man. Y'all be trying to make that argument so hard. Y'all try so hard to make that argument. Anybody else want to come up? Feel free. Anybody else want to come up? Feel free. We could talk about it. I didn't kick her down. She had one more paw, but Knotless, Knotless was on time. And don't forget, y'all, 5 Panther paws to kick a guess. If y'all want to kick a guess, we can do that, and then we could just move right along. Is it racist to date within your race? We was talking about it earlier. How black women make up 6%. I'm sorry, 6%. Oh, she did have 5. Stella, my bad, my bad. No disrespect, Knotless. I didn't know. But yeah, so 6% of black women marry or date outside the race. Yet, I would say about 50% of black women on television got a white tea man. Why is that? At least more than 30%. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I could think of Little Mermaid, Game of Thrones, Bridgerton. Um, what else? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are they able to find this small minority of black women to put on our TVs and then turn around and say representation is important? Look, black woman, we put someone that looks like you on screen. So now, when you watch TV, you see yourself. Oh, someone put Precious down there. Y'all better be careful. Hey, yo, the Precious conversation is wild. The discourse around Precious is wild, and that's facts. Hoodoo Scandal's another one. Um, the discourse around Precious is wild, y'all. That one I can't. I like. I tried to touch on it, and believe it or not, Sisters was in my comments saying that Precious deserved to be with a white T man because black men called her fat, and black men were making fun of her. So that's why it's okay for her to have a white T man. And I'm like, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Like, do y'all understand that white T men are the most dangerous men on earth? Like, let's keep it a buck, y'all. Do y'all understand that white T men are the most dangerous men on earth? Do y'all know the violent crime rate amongst white T men? Are y'all sure y'all want to do that? Y'all never seen Gone Girl? Y'all never seen actually Gone Girl, he didn't do it, but it was based on a true story because they be doing it. All right, y'all listen. You see how they treat their own women, and they don't even care about that stuff. Let's be honest. When that sister got hit with that quote unquote brick, and everybody believed it was a brick, we was hosting lives, we was having talks, brothers was up here defending themselves. It's not all black men, and the sisters was like, y'all be doing this to us, and like it was all that back and forth. Do y'all know who Jeffrey Dahmer? Not Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bundy is. Y'all know who Ted Bundy is? Y'all know how many white tea women Ted Bundy underlived? You ain't see no discourse. You ain't see them having think pieces and going back and forth with each other because they've normalized that type of violence. Y'all sure y'all want one of them? You know what I'm saying? The Gabby, the woman that played Precious in that movie, has a white tea man, but that it don't make it no safer. It don't make it okay because at the end of the day, that sister's putting herself in the proximity of danger. That sister's putting herself in the proximity of danger. It's still not a wise choice on her behalf because that white tea man would not be with her if she ain't have money. Gabby got the power. Let's be honest. Gabby got the yams. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the physical yams. I'm talking about the can I get to the yams? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that money. Gabby got money, all right? What's the yams? The yams is the power that be. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So Gabby got the yams, and that's why that white T man is with her. If you cannot convince me that a white T man would look at that sister twice online at the DMV with no money, you cannot convince me that he was not sent as an agent to go make sure Gabby don't bring that money back to the black community. Just like the white T women stand at the NBA draft and the NFL draft lined up to make sure these black men do not bring that money back into their community and back into their family. Interracial relationship was something imposed, not chosen, but imposed on the black community by the white supremacist system because they were trying to make sure that we did not believe black power would work. They wanted to show us that white tea power could also work to our benefit and to make sure that black power, that any black power that we achieved through financial freedom was to go back into the hands of our oppressor and not into our black woman, our black man, and our black community. Let's keep it a buck. That's the reason we got Loving versus Virginia. We got Loving versus Virginia because a white tea man wanted to marry a sister. Let's keep it a buck. And some of y'all heroes was with white tea men too. Don't get me started on Alice Walker. I know y'all love womanism, I know womanism is the purple with lavender. Womanism is the feminism with purple is the lavender. I know about the color purple, but do y'all know that Alice Walker was the first black woman to marry a white tea man in Alabama? Do y'all know that? And then she made a movie showing the darkest, most twisted sides of black men during the institution of slavery. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, actually, Alice Walker been with everything but a black man. Because now she's currently married or in a relationship with an indigenous man. She went from a white tea man to a black woman during the time when she wrote Color Purple, and then after that, she ended up with an indigenous man. That's what we at now. She been with everyone but a black man, and then made that movie where black men is the villains. So you tell me where her allegiance lie. You know what I'm saying? Womanism in theory, of course, we got to protect our sisters. Of course, we gotta raise our sisters' voice to the front of the group because they have experienced a unique form of oppression under the patriarchy and white supremacy. Of course. But I'm sorry to say that the idea of intersectionality that a lot of y'all have been taught to believe by white liberals and feminists is not the case in the black community. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta be honest tonight, y'all. I've been studying, and those that saw the video on Sunday in our meeting knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, y'all. Intersectionality, where y'all think that black women are at the bottom of the social ladder. I'm sorry, but black men are right there with you. And black man, you need to know that you are. Black man, you need to know that you are right next to your sisters. You need to know that patriarchy is not a system that benefits you, black man. You need to know that patriarchy was not created for us. And sisters, you need to know that feminism was not created for us. And in the system, in the context of racism, white supremacy, black man and black woman, unfortunately, we are not seen as men and women. We're not seen as men and women. We're male and female prisoners of war in the context of our oppression. So that being the case, we need to unpack and relearn what intersectionality means. Intersectionality means that black women face a unique form of oppression. Black men face a unique form of oppression. We both face a unique form of oppression. But the war has always been and continues to be a war on black boys, not black men, not black women, not even black girls, unfortunately. The war is on black boys. Look at the literacy rate. Look at the literacy rate. Look at the mass incarceration. Look to how many of them actually reach the age of 18. Let's talk about it, y'all. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. That's where intersectionality gets real ugly. Males and females is used for animals. Absolutely. And that's the dehumanizing quality that racism, white supremacy imposes upon us. For us to claim that we're men and women is us acknowledging our own humanity. So in our own spaces, we can act as men and women. But unfortunately, there's a war in Africa, and we are just prisoners of that war. There is a war in Africa that has existed for 6,500 years. 6,500 years, Africa has had her resources stolen and has had people stolen from her. And we are just, in the context of that oppression, in the context of that war, we are just prisoners of war. Let's be honest, because the war has not stopped. The war continues. Black boys are at the front line of that war. I want y'all to look up something called the Matthew effect. The Matthew effect. Look up the Matthew effect. Y'all know how to spell Matthew? Matthew. Matthew. Look up the Matthew effect. The Matthew effect is basically a way of determining if someone is going to be incarcerated later on in life. And how they determine this is by looking at the literacy rate of children by the time they reach the age of 5. If a child has not learned to read by the age of 5, the likelihood that they will go to jail skyrockets. It almost becomes a predictor. And the literacy rate of black boys in this country has been dropping harshly, harshly. They are making sure our boys don't learn to read. So what do you think this means for the future? About the most incarcerated men on the planet in mankind's history. We didn't have prisons in Africa, y'all. There were no prisons in Africa before colonization. We didn't have prisons. The white T-man created prisons. The white T-man also enslaved. Look it up. 60% of slaves brought to the Americas were black men. Look it up. Young black men. Look it up. What I'm saying is there's a unique oppression for brothers. There's a unique oppression for sisters. And I'm tired of seeing us trying to crawl on top of each other to get to the top. I'm tired of seeing black men crawl on top of the sisters and blame the sisters for their conditions. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I don't want to see it no more. I'm tired of seeing sisters get degrees and higher employment and try to use that as weapons and arguments against black men to say that to reinforce the white tea narrative that black men are inferior and less capable of receiving a degree or a job. I'm tired of seeing us trying to crawl over each other. It's disgusting on TikTok. I'm telling y'all, it disgusts me. It nauseates me on TikTok. So, that's why I try to make my platform to call out some of this bull. I'm tired of seeing it, man. I'm tired of seeing the Africans versus the African Americans. I'm tired of seeing the brothers versus the sisters. We don't got no time for none of this. Y'all more mad at each other than you are at the person that created the problem we sitting in today. Y'all more mad at each other. Y'all got more time to be on TikTok live yelling at each other than y'all got to actually put a plan together so that we can overcome and mitigate the oppression that we all feel today. Because we understand that unless unless there's a extreme change of heart, you know what I'm saying? Unless we actually take any means necessary very seriously, the state of our oppression is not up to us. It is currently in the hands of those that have created the system. So, exactly, that's right. They're distracting us so we don't get on them. Exactly. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't know how many of y'all saw the white tea woman that came on TikTok and said the N-word, and then she got like 100,000 Twitter followers overnight. I don't know how many of y'all saw her. She got really famous overnight because she said the N-word. Well, I seen in her comments people are arguing because they calling her a ish person. With the Star of David and the funny hat. You know what I'm saying? They calling her a ish person because her crowd was all a bunch of a bunch of Yankees. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of yeehaws. So they mad at her because she's an ish person. And I just think it's funny because watching them argue about that was kind of amusing. It was kind of amusing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at y'all fighting over each other about who's the bigger bigot. Look at y'all fighting over each other. Look at y'all. So how do you think they feel when they watch us arguing over trivial things? How do you think they feel watching us argue over who going 50-50 on the rent? Peace, Sister Vanna. How do you think they feel? How do you think they feel watching us argue and fight with each other? I'm tired of it, y'all. Yeah, they love it. We doing their work for them. We doing their work for them. That's all it is. They sitting back cracking up. That's why I don't like doing it on here. I would have more pretendian lives. I want to call out the pretendians, but I'm not about to sit up here and argue with us. Now, if one of them come up here, I will use that for educational purposes, but I'm not about to sit here and bash nobody. I'm not about to do that. We got bigger fish to fry, y'all. I don't care if you call yourself an Israelite. I don't care if you call yourself Chocataw. You know what I'm saying? You want to call yourself a chocolate taw? You want to call yourself black foot, black kneecap, black ass? I don't care. I don't care what you want to call yourself. We supposed to be on code, and a lot of y'all don't know what the code is. Peace, Jelly Bean. A lot of y'all don't know the code. The code is the counter-racist code outlined by Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Y'all hear people say y'all need to be on code. Y'all don't even know what the code is. The compensatory counter-racist code. A lot of y'all don't even know. We only supposed to be having constructive conversations. Anything non-constructive is a waste of time in the context of liberation. You got to think about it like this. If a man is locked in a furnace and he has the means to open the door and step out of a fiery furnace, anything he does that is not stepping out of that furnace is non-constructive and a waste of his time. When we talk about interracial relationships, people say, why can't I have my interracial relationships? Love is love. You can't tell me what to do. No, we can't tell you what to do. But if you want to pick your nose and scratch your ass in a fiery furnace while your flesh is burning, then something ain't right with you. Something ain't right with you. Our community is on fire. And you trying to argue over whether or not you have a right to pick your nose and scratch your ass. You want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. But our community is on fire. We're not going to look to you like no hero. We got stuff going on. We got stuff going on. We still waiting to see which honky in chief is going to be in the White House. I'm sorry, I said the H word. Y'all going to have to F1 in the comments. My bad. My bad. Y'all going to have to F1 in the comments. We we waiting to see which saltine in chief is going to be in the White House. Because they both saltine in chief. Don't get it twisted. And Kamala Harris is the peanut butter cracker. I said peanut butter before, and I think I might get away with it. I'm gonna stop talking like this. My bad, y'all. I've been off TikTok for a while, y'all. It's been a while since I've been on live. My bad. Anyway, Kamala Harris she's a Cheez-It in the context of racism, white supremacy. Kamala Harris is a Cheez-It. She's still in the box. She's still on the hors d'oeuvre plate. You know what I'm saying? It's Kamala. Listen, I'm telling you, man. How many of y'all seen that picture of Billy Porter kissing Joe Biden's hand, kissing the hand of the devil? How many of y'all seen that? That was crazy. Let's be honest. On Juneteenth, sitting there listening to Kirk Franklin Christian music, right? You're gonna sit there and listen to Christian music on Juneteenth, which I'm not all the way mad at. You know what I'm saying? Because Black Americans, we gotta be honest. Our culture did start in the church. Our culture did start in the church. You know what I'm saying? So I do think to some degree I have a respect for the church in a cultural sense, purely cultural, not spiritual, not religious, purely cultural. You got to have respect for the church. That was our cultural center for hundreds of years. And if it wasn't for that cultural center, we would not have Pan-Africanism. We would not have Ethiopianism. We would not have Rastafarianism. We would not have these other uprisings that we had. You know, Nat Turner was a preacher. Like, we wouldn't have certain things if it wasn't for that cultural center. So I can kind of respect the church for that. Marcus Garvey himself was a Christian. So I can respect that to a degree. But at the same time, on Juneteenth, we sitting here listening to Black Christian music. Billy Porter, a Black man, in the context of racism, white supremacy. I'm not saying it's not. Black man, if you want to wear a dress, go right ahead. You can wear a dress. But is it constructive to your liberation? Black man, if you want to wear a dress, it is up to you. No one is going to stop you. Go ahead and wear your dress. Shout out to my brothers and sisters that have alternative style choices. Listen, No shade, no tea. Black man, you want to wear a dress, you go right ahead. But is it constructive? Is it constructive to your liberation, or are you picking your nose and scratching your ass in a fiery furnace? Anyway, if you want to wear a dress, go ahead. This black man wearing a dress while Kirk Franklin is up there singing gospel songs, gonna turn his behind around and kiss the hand of the devil himself while Christian music is playing in the background. Ain't that crazy? Gonna kiss the hand of the devil himself. The devil, that's wild, bro. Appreciate you, Nubian. That's wild. And no one, I don't really see I seen some people calling them out for it, but not at the level that they need to be calling them out. Not at the level they need to be calling them out, because I know that a lot of y'all are scared to talk about Billy Porter because we know he got a lot of white tea folks supporting him. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We know he got a lot of white tea folks supporting him. And that's the thing about that particular intersection in the context of racism, white supremacy, is any intersection or any marginalized group that has white tea men as part of that community is going to have more power than the black community. I'm talking about the rainbow community. I'm talking about what's it called? The Ish people. You know what I'm saying? The Zionists with the little hats. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have more power. These are the untouchable topics that you're not supposed to talk on as a black person, because whether they wear a hijab or a yarmulke, or they got a what's it called, a dress on, a white tee man is a white tee man, and he got more power than your black ass to shut your behind up. Let's be honest. They're going to keep you quiet. Look at what they did to Kyrie. Look at what they did to Louis Farrakhan. They do have more power than anyone in our ranks. Why? Because they literally have the oppressor in their community. They do. You think it's different just because he love another man? It don't matter. It's still a white tee man. And the brothers and sisters in that community will verify that a yeehaw gonna yeehaw. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, I'm about to go. I appreciate y'all. I just want to talk a little bit. I had some stuff I wanted to get off my chest, man. They saturated in evil and don't know it. Exactly. Let's call it what it is, y'all. Let's call it what it is. I wasn't lying earlier when I said what I said, you know. There's some good racists. You know what I'm saying? There's some good, fine racist folks out there. There's some good, fine racist folks out there. They think they good. When you meet them, they're going to smile in your face. They're real polite. They might even put Black Lives Matter on their face. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the hell this she got going on. Half face. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is. Nah. This is how biracial people look in their mind. Let me stop. But nah. You know, like they're gonna be real nice to you. Absolutely some good, fine racists out there. But that don't mean that they not racist. You know what I'm saying? And understand, y'all, my goal, honestly, if I could do anything, if I could teach anything, I want y'all to not be surprised when, this half of her exposes their racism. I don't want y'all to be shocked when one of them says the N-word in a video and have to, be all surprised and sharing it and engaging with the content and all that. I don't want to see the day where black people are not surprised when they see racism exist in the oppressor's class. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for that day, y'all. Like, for real. That's a big problem in our community, is that the reason we're shocked is because of cognitive dissonance. We know better, but we don't act on that knowledge. We know that they racist, but we don't act on that knowledge. And then the reason we're surprised when we see it, oh wow, it's real. We need to stop, y'all. We need to stop. As soon as you hear someone identify themselves as white, you need to think that is a violent person. That should be the first thought to go through your mind. If it's not, you've been indoctrinated. If it's not, you have been indoctrinated. That should be the first thought to go through your mind. This person is a danger to me. That should be the first person. And the next thing that should go through your mind is that this person views me as a toilet. I know that sounds wild, don't it? I know that sounds wild, but they do. They view you as derogatory. They view you as something that should be kept in the bathroom. They view you as something to be used and discarded. You understand? I know. I know. It's hard for y'all to hear because y'all been taught that they can love y'all. Y'all been taught that you can get love from the same group that oppresses and exploits you. Used only when necessary, absolutely. And it is necessary to use us. That's the other thing about that metaphor. This is actually a metaphor I'm getting from Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. A lot of the stuff I say, y'all, I want y'all to know I'm not as clever as I may seem on TikTok. I'm really just regurgitating everything I've read back to y'all because I know y'all not picking up these books. Some of y'all are though. So shout out to the book. Shout out to my bookworms. Shout out to the bookworms that be listening to the speeches and the lectures, and all that with me, and probably know where I'm getting a lot of this information from. But we are necessary to be used. But even though they have to use us, we're to be kept where the nasty things are. We're derogatory. We're unclean. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look at us. And a lot of us don't look at ourselves that way, and we shouldn't. But at the same time, when we are around them, and you put on because it's called The Duality of the Negro by James Baldwin. We can see the world through their glasses, and we can see the world through our own glasses. We have two pairs of glasses. They only got one. They can't see it they can't see the world through our eyes, but we can see the world through their eyes because we was raised in their world. So we can see things the way they see them. But we forget how they see us. And that's what's key. Right. Used in private and when necessary. That's right. So with that understanding, when a white man walks up to you, my sister, when you see a sister with a white man, I better not ever catch y'all in the comments talking about some yes, sis. I better not ever. Some of y'all, by the way, my wife and I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked, but my page, I wanted to only follow people that are in the B1 Initiative Discord. So some of y'all might see me following you back because I'm looking in the comments, but please don't take it personally because I love everybody melanated, and if I follow you back, that means that I know that you on code. But I had too many followers, and I started to see a bunch of unmelanated women in my timeline, so I had to fall back. I don't know what brothers was liking stuff or whatever was going on, but yeah. So please don't be offended, and y'all know y'all can reach out to me. I do check my DMs, but I prefer it if y'all join the Discord. But anyway, when y'all see a sister with a white tee man, you need to think that sister is in danger. That's the first thing you need to think is she is in danger. Whether she knows it or not, whether she expects it, whether she understands it or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wish we could get them out, but a lot of them, we'll get in danger trying to get them out. We got to be careful. But I better not, I'm following y'all back. I better not see y'all up under these comments. I'm telling y'all, Brother Legend is watching everything. I'm telling you, I have decolonized my mind so much. I cannot watch y'all act like Swipe. No, was Swiper one of them? I can't see y'all act like Rocket Raccoon. You know what I'm saying? I can't see it on my timeline. I can't see it. I can't see it. That's not why I come on TikTok. So if I'm on my timeline and I see y'all commenting down there disparaging black women, I'm sorry you getting unfollowed. I'm not gonna block you. You can still come to the lives, but I'm not doing it. And sisters, I better not see none of that yes sis up under some post talking about the black wife effect. I better not see that. I better not see that. I'm holding every black person in here accountable. I'm holding you all accountable. That's what it feel like. That's what love feel like. When you love somebody, you hold them accountable. And I got love for all of y'all. I got love for every black African person here with your big lips, big forehead, wide nose, breathing up all God's good air. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of y'all locks and afros looking like a million black power fists in the air. You know what I'm saying? That love is going to come in the form of accountability with me because somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Kuma, I better not catch you with up under some bunny comments talking about Kuma. I better not catch you up in no bunny's comments talking about if it ain't snowing, I ain't going. I better not. You better I'm playing with Kuma, y'all. That's my brother. I better not see you down there bunny hopping for nobody. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry, y'all. It's getting to that point in my life. It's getting to that point in my journey where I only want to surround myself by conscious Pan-Africans. At least on my timeline. Y'all can have whatever you want on y'all timeline. But on my timeline, I gotta get focused. I have a group of people that I've organized. I gotta make sure that we're meeting our objectives. I gotta make sure that I'm doing what I need to do for my family as the leader of my family, as the man of my house. And that don't mean I'm the leader in everything. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brothers and sisters that understand it takes balance to run a home. You know what I'm saying? Because she in the shower right now. You know what I'm saying? But y'all would hear her in the background. My wife be having an attitude. Let me go before I get in trouble. Nah, I'm just playing. But nah, for real. I don't want to see y'all doing no weird stuff, man. And come and join us in the Discord because I'm telling you, the Discord, we are learning so much. We watch videos every Sunday. We talk about things going on in our week. We talk about the news cycles. We talk, maybe update each other on different things. Come and join us. It's just for an hour on Sunday. So you want to join? The link is in my bio, b1initiative.org. We're looking for people to come and work with us too. So if you spend a lot of time on TikTok, come and talk with us. I be seeing people come on TikTok for 89 hours. You doing whole shifts on TikTok. You doing 9 to 5 on TikTok live. But when I put out extend the invitation for you to come and build with your people, you missing. That don't even sound right. You doing 8 and 9 hours on TikTok live. But when it's time to get live in these streets for your people, you are missing. That's why y'all see me missing. That's why y'all don't see me every day. That's why y'all don't see all these videos coming from me. Because I'm too busy working with the people. I don't got time for TikTok live. I really don't. And y'all remember when I was coming up here more frequently, I had time then. And I started to organize. And honestly, I'm at that point where the organization is more important. I don't have time to be up here. But at the same time, it's also important for me to spread this knowledge as much as I can, man. Because I'm trying. My goal is to get y'all out of cognitive dissonance. My job. The reason I think the ancient mother put me on this earth was to raise y'all's frequency. Peace, King Mike. Appreciate you for subscribing, brother. But yeah, so I really think the reason the ancient mother put me on this earth, the reason Mother Africa put me on this earth was to raise y'all's consciousness. I'm here to raise y'all's consciousness. That's why I'm Brother Legend, just like Bob Marley, who had the album named Legend. I'm here to raise y'all's frequency. I'm here to raise y'all's vibe, the vibration, big vibration. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good with the Jamaican accent. You know, all I could really say is Shaba. I'm not good with the y'all be Lord of mercy. Like I'm not good with the accent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I'm here to vibration. Y'all be yo, why Jamaican people put an E sound whenever they say an A? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of saying vibration, they say vibration. Yo, what? Y'all are funny. And they say beer can like bacon. No, no, they say bacon like beer can. Beer can. They don't say bacon. They say beer can. I'm playing, man. All I'm gonna say about Jamaican people is we love y'all, and y'all's macaroni pie is the weakest link in the diaspora's macaroni and cheese wars. In the macaroni and cheese wars, Jamaicans are the opposite of Usain Bolt. Y'all coming in last place. The macaroni and cheese wars, y'all a macaroni pie. I don't know what y'all doing with it. It be dry. And y'all know it be dry. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. It be dry. I love y'all jerk food. I love y'all how y'all make the plantain. Y'all taught me how to even say plantain. Me and my wife was saying plantain, but y'all say plantain. So I know that, you know what I'm saying? And Shaba. It's like, no, I'm playing. All right. Africa, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, my brother? You know,
Peace, peace.
the question to at the back, you said like, what's the difference between what black and white Christians believe in? Do you know what I think is the fundamental difference? I think like white people have fundamentally politicized Jesus, and black people have not. And I think that's one of the key differences. Like, if you just hear how white people, especially white Americans, speak about Jesus, you'd think that he was some like NRA like member, like sitting on a cloud, like hoping for lower taxes. Like they fundamentally politicized who Jesus was and completely warped the narrative. And black people have not politicized Jesus in the same way. And
Mm.
I think that the character of Jesus, like, yes, you can think why the question why like in terms of who he was, if you believe in his divinity, etc. But I think like people often ask themselves what Jesus was. And I think the what is also very important in terms of like what Jesus was, because I think I look at Jesus fundamentally like through the political lens, and I look at him like, what was Jesus? Jesus was a man of color living under a Roman European colonial hegemony, and he was
Mm-hmm.
unalived because he was speaking against the current religious establishment within his own community that were facilitating the oppression. The reason why Jesus was unalived was because he was speaking out against the Pharisees and the Sadducees, who were the religious establishment within his community at the time. Like, I think it's important that Jesus was a traveling rabbi and a man of color who was living under European oppression, and like he was unalived because he was making the establishment of power uncomfortable. He was making the religious Sadducees and Pharisees, who were the religious establishment within his community, uncomfortable. And he was subsequently making the Romans uncomfortable because he was making people think. And I think like when you put Jesus in that context, Jesus just comes under one of the many martyrs that we've had in terms of people who have shaken up the cart and made the establishment uncomfortable. And I think that if you actually look fundamentally at like what Jesus was, if Jesus was alive today, Jesus wouldn't be a white man. Jesus' narrative parallels like us. Jesus' narrative parallels a man of color who has had to navigate a violent colonial like European hegemonic power that's not native to his lands, that was extracting wealth, and he's having to deal with those within his community who are helping facilitate the oppression via religious mechanisms. Does that sound similar to you guys? Because that sounds very similar to me.
Right. Absolutely. That's Fred Hampton. Sound like Fred Hampton to me. And a lot of these Christians don't have the mind of Jesus. Don't they? Don't they? Don't they? Y'all ain't Christians. Christian means to be Christ-like. Christ was unalived on the cross because he was standing up for the people. So if you see what's going on with the people, you call yourself a Christian, then I need to see a whole lot more of y'all being hung on the cross. I need to see it.
Exactly. I think like if you're saying that you're taking the example of Jesus, you can't claim to be colorblind because Jesus wasn't blind. Jesus wasn't blind to the dynamics of the Jewish and the Roman occupation that he lived under. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you are trying to be Christ-like, you would be pro-black because Jesus was
Mm-hmm.
pro-Jewish. Jesus
Yep.
was very much so for the liberation of his people, and Jesus was very much so for like I think like Jesus was very much was against like religious corruption. Jesus was against removing the things in his community that were facilitating like people's oppression and corruption and extracting wealth out of his communities. Like Jesus cared about what was going on in his community and was trying to change the narrative. If you were trying to be Christ-like, you would be doing like you'd be doing the work within your community.
And Jesus followed the laws of quote unquote his father. So Jesus was following the laws of God above the laws of man and the laws of the government. So the problem we have with Christians today is they follow God's law up until it reaches the white supremacist law, and then they kind of go the other way. They back down. But Jesus didn't back down when it came to the intersection of power that would eventually influence the different areas of people activity during his day. He didn't say, "Oh well, I'm not gonna flip the tables over. I'm gonna just flip a few chairs instead." He didn't say because I might get arrested. I don't want to cause a ruckus in here. Like, no, Jesus followed the law of God. So if that's the case, if you consider yourself a Christian, that means you don't follow the laws of white supremacists or the laws written by a criminal institution. Instead, you should be following the righteous word of God. And the righteous word of God means that you are going to see fit to having God's kingdom, be manifested here on earth. And how can you do that in an environment that is hostile towards black people? How can you do that in an environment that is, racist and follow laws that were created by men that sought to exploit people? You can't do both. So that's a good point you bring up, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, y'all, I'm about to dip out. I gotta go. I got work tomorrow. I just wanted to come up and holler at y'all. I'm gonna come back up tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do my little hour a day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come in, tap in with y'all. Oh dang! Now Timothy want to come up. Hold on, Timothy might want to say, "What's up, Timothy?"
Oh, hey, brother. My bad. I wasn't sure if you were gonna stay up a little bit longer, but yeah. Um, yeah. No, I was about to say you got all the honkies saying amen in the chat, bro. We need to slow down before we.
What they think this church? Nah.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, but no problem, bro.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'll just catch you a little bit later on then, man.
All right, family. Appreciate you. Yeah, I gotta go. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for subscribing too, man. I'm gonna be back up tomorrow. And don't forget to join the Discord, b1initiative.org. There's a link that says join us. You just want to click there. It'll download the Discord app and you can come and join us in the Discord. We have meetings every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Hoagies, what you talking about? Somebody from Philly saying hoagies in the comments. Y'all are funny. All right, y'all. One love. I'm out. Peace.